the tournament they went on to win. And then obviously V1 went into the lower bracket. They won that, and they also went to Iceland.
Sure.
We've got that tie-in here between both of these teams
They're
as well.
still fighting to get to Iceland. It's all happening again, but this time version 1 certainly the favorites. I wouldn't say necessarily on this map, though. Both teams making significant changes, primarily around the KO. Both teams adding the KO back in, and my word, this has some pace immediately.
Immediately, there is no waiting around. Straight away, the aftershock straight into the back of that site. Gonna burn down a couple of the players here. Pop flash right around the corner. He ends up flashing himself, sick. Possibly a bit uncomfortable there on the KO. Now he's being swarmed from every single angle. Still manages to get the one on Xander. Impressive. Whippy though, still. What a shock dart. That's kind of quirky. Like that one. Whippy sets up the TP, and now he's going to be getting back to safety. What a weird round of Valorant.
He has a single bullet in his headhunter, and Shaz thinks that he's rendezvoused away in order to go and plant potentially on A. These are the kind of situations where usually the player just stays in case it's a re-hit, because you're going to have to play retake anyway if it's an A plant. But, I mean, Whippy's absolutely finessed this one. Shaz has bought it hook, line, and sinker. He's over on A.
Yep.
They've traded positions. And now the problem is, when Shaz comes back to C, Whippy could be pushed up, Whippy could be in garage, Whippy could be playing on site, he could be behind the box.
Look, he has to
he has to burn his recon dart so early. And in fact, Whippy's going to be playing the longest sightline possible. But remember, he only has a single bullet on that headhunter. And the Classic is not great at long range.
Yeah. Low on health. 58 health.
But not enough.
Has the Sheriff. Oh my word. Batman at a round, and the shot just misses. Shaz, he's good for it. Wow. Pistol round secure. Don't even worry about it, guys.
Not even close.
Shaz was the one who was he was top fragging for the team, I believe, in the previous map. So I mean,
he was doing work.
Momentum forward.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams have high fragging IGLs, and Shaz went crazy on the previous map. He really tried it. And here you see him collect the Red Bull clutch. The reason I said Whippy wasn't low enough is because he had 58 health. That's not enough to die at this range, or at any range, from one shot from a Sheriff. But he still manages to get out, get both body shots onto Whippy, and secures that round.
Yeah.
But yeah, both Shaz and Xander are heavy fragging IGL players. Xander's the top ACS for IGLs. Shaz is in the number 3 position. It's not a role that many people can get kills from, but both of these players do incredibly well.
Oh my. Okay.
And there's a battle between the two of them.
Yeah, battle of the IGL. Xander thought he caught a cheeky timing. Nice knife. That's going to remove the paranoia that was potentially coming their way. Quick little dodge of that flash over Penny. Marshall, not enough. And yeah. Can Whippy do it? Not quite.
Pretty clean collection of the second round. Certainly less dangerous than on Ascent when things got very dodgy for Sentinels.
Reminiscent, though, of the start of Ascent, where they were 2 rounds up.
Yes, in that sense, absolutely. But Sentinels had a really poor buy for their bonus round when it came to that map. Whereas this time they're going to be able to... In fact, they're actually kind of forcing Dapper onto a judge. He only has 350 credits remaining. As Sick also decides to purchase a rifle into this one, too. They've got a pretty good buy here. And it looks like from version 1 there's going to be a lot of aggression on A early. Yeah, they're trying to punish Shaz, maybe taking the orb. He loves taking the orb if the recon dart sees nothing.
Oh, wow. Actually TP'd Xander into that corner so they could double swing onto the player at A.
The Bone Cold play.
Yeah, it's cheeky. People are going to be scouring the Bone Cold VODs. The info with the new patch change.
There's the paranoia being used. That gives Sick and Shaz the timing to be able to use all of that utility. And that was Whippy actually lurking up mid, and Dapper peeked him from garage.
With a judge?
With a judge, Brent.
Okay. Yeah, why not, Dapper? Maybe the gun needs a few more nerfs. I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of this from version 1. Most of the time, their mid-round pivots like this are really fast, but they've taken so long that Dapper's got back into position. They're playing against double Nanoswarm and into a judge. There's just no world where this works for version 1.
What a crossfire from Sentinels. The swing through back. Paranoia connects. Dapper has the judge. He's just swinging into them despite the bad guns. Coming up with the goods, and that is a Prime Gaming flawless on the bonus round.
Bad guns? I won't ever hear you call the judge a bad gun.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, the judge, just as good as rifles in some situations. Yeah, what a round to win, honestly, and sets them right on good footing.
But one of the biggest problems with that round, the reason that you could tell it was going badly just from when they first made that decision, is because, and it looks like version 1 are going to take a timeout here as well, maybe to discuss that.
Yeah.
They made the pivot to C whilst not controlling any area of C, right? They didn't have anybody down C long. Their player at Garage got killed. So even though they had to cancel the A hit, normally in those mid-round scenarios, version 1 have like somebody pushed up close to B or somebody pushed up close to Garage. And they have the knowledge that all of the area of the map is open. They're not going to give away their pathing by making noise. They're going to be able to get close to C before exploding. Dapper heard them running a mile off. They just knew that that was a rotate to C. Dapper was set up with all of his utility and crushed the site hit coming through. Zoms even had enough time to rotate and throw a paranoia through. And I gotta say, Brent, this is a much better start for Sick. He was sat at only 4 kills for the longest time on Ascent, and he's already got 5 in the first 3 rounds. He's just found those opportunities to mow them down as they're hitting.
Yeah.
And he's using his flashes to flood rotate. And what I mean by that is one player on Sentinels is going to try and hold the site down, just hold the back of the site, essentially just holding the entrance for Sick to come in and flash himself in and help that defender. That's how Sentinels have always played Haven.
They're off to a great start of things. Penny. You can see that he's holding down that Marshall. That spray down tends awfully close to a kill. It's a drone used early, though. That's to clear through a lobby. Make sure that V1 aren't pushed up into it. And as soon as they hear the drone, they're going with pace once more. Aggressive exec right into B. Trying to get deep into the back of the side of TP. I believe up to the top there.
They're holding hands.
Yep, and Sick, I think, was very unaware of what was going on in that scenario. Tens running around the corner, bit of run and gun with the Phantom, why not? Goes down to the util though, if he's just layers it down. Dapper off to the side, and Shaz luckily there to clean up as well. It was getting a little bit too scrappy for but a moment, but ooh, okay. You can wipe the sweat off your brow.
Yeah, deep breath. Dapper with the spray down gets 2, but he was only on, what is that, 10 health, 15 health, something like that. If he had fallen, that becomes a really dangerous 1v1 at the end that Shaz has to win. But silver lining, well, silver lining, Sentinels win the round and they're 4-0 up, but also they have some great ultimates in this next pivotal round. This is another round where they can break the economy of version 1. And the more Sentinels can get on the board here, the better it stands them. Both of these teams are really good at Haven. It's not necessarily Sentinels' favored just because they picked it. It's their best chance in the series to win the map, I think. But version 1 are no pushovers. At the moment, though, they've found absolutely no success.
These quirky timings being disrupted, but
What is that?
Dude, Penny, I mean,
Penny did
someone
that.
check this guy's PC.
Penny did that against Tens on Ascent when he just ran into B main as
Ego
well.
swinging him, man.
It's
Ego
crazy.
swinging. I'm pretty sure it was supplemented with the KO knife as well.
Yeah.
That went in, so obviously, I mean, Tens couldn't dash away, but
still, he's still taking a raw gunfight and
against
winning.
an op, against the op as well. Yeah, it's nasty. Penny has been having this resurgence, man. I mean, it's something about Iceland, I think. Maybe he's just part of Viking. You can feel it when he's trying to head there, you know? It's a power up or something.
Shazam used the drone, and they've flashed. They've heard players. They know that Penny is still around A, so they can expect this hit to come through. The knife does not stop that breach ult from happening, and Sick, he falls first. This is a 5v3.
Trying to take the side here, Hunter's Fury to try and disrupt it, cut them across the site. Let's get a tag out onto Celsius. Throws out the knife. Now wants to take a forward position onto the side as the plant finally start to come through. Players are weak, though, across V1, but they are 5 alive against the 3 of Sentinels.
Dapper has his ult. They could go for a retake, but Effie still has an aftershock. So Dapper...
Oh, this is interesting.
He can't put it down close to the wall. Does the
No
aftershock
way.
reach? It does!
It does! That is ridiculous, man! V1's utility is just
Outplayed.
next level.
I mean,
it's
outplayed.
just next level.
Dapper doesn't scrim against breaches very often. I mean, you can just tell. But also, of course he doesn't. Not many teams play breach on Haven. They're starting to.
We'll see if they can turn it around. Smoke down into hell. Spray straight through. Shaz in a 1v2 from the high ground, but he knows exactly where the positioning is. Moves around. The dash. That is immense. Quick little spray comes down, but not enough time. Penny just aware.
I've got Shaz. The spray control onto Celsius is extraordinary. But the decision from Penny to dash away and not allow
To
him
give the favorable fight.
Yes. To not allow him any opportunity to get the kill in the first place. Playing the time. Splitting up completely.
So smart.
It's a gorgeous round from version 1.
Yeah.
But it's their first. They're going to have to repeat that multiple times. I'm sure they'll be loving the fact that Dapper used his lockdown, though.
Absolutely. It was an easy break for them.
Sick has an amazing ult for retake this time, too. is another really fast piece towards A short. Version 1 like to mix these up. Sometimes it'll be a full-on execute, which this one is, as you can see. Xander teleporting into heaven. I've seen this play in my rank games.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a classic. Make them clear you out, potentially get a pick or two.
They go in there with 3 players.
I mean, they know he's up there. They have to try and clear it at least. There's the drone, and it forces Xander back. Has to drop down now. What the hell? There's the drone for them as well. Paranoia. In hand. He's waiting for some sort of cue that Sentinels are going for this retake. Shock dart. That is a connection. Effie's falling so low, but now the KO ult for this retake. Zen can even get through this.
That's actually Zelsis popping his...
mistake.
It's Zelsis popping his KO ult before Sick can pop his. So they've shut down the KO ult on their side, allows them to get the Paranoia off.
Dude, the time's running out, right? Sentinels, they've got to try and come up with something big right now. They're trying to hold it down, Santa! What is that? 5 kills and ace? Disgusting, man. Disgusting.
You think this guy can play Omen?
Mate, you could just put him on... You could put him on... I don't even know, man. Just a CSGO character. You can give him nothing. Give him nothing. Run him in. He'd still be calling. He'd still be pulling out plays like this.
I've seen... I can't believe that too.
What is that?
That is an absurd ace. That is so well played by Xander. Just the aim on this guy. I was talking about how good they are. Xander is the top ACS for IGLs in North America currently. And he's a player that...
He's different.
Version 1 picked him up. He was an upcoming player.
He's different, man.
This new breed of talent, they are different.
Dapper holding it down with old reliable. Has to try and anchor into Garage. Play anti-flash, he's worried about it. Yeah, he's gonna hug the corner now. Flash comes through, and yeah, perfectly timed Dapper with the swing. Lovely, he's just running at them. Gets a gun, but eventually sprayed through the door. This is erupting into chaos. V1 are able to reward it. Santa's just TP'd in front of 10s.
What a round.
What?
It's ended up in a 2v2 post plant here towards the C site. They've given the spike over to Effie, so he actually now has his breach ult to be able to work with too. And they're getting into such a cheeky position. Zelsis has amazing information just by being able to peek that. Effie's do not take the fight. You have the ult.
I can't believe he wants to take the fight against 10s as well.
Just stunning.
Oh, the knife tags. No knives.
Did it in fact?
Yeah, I think the stun slowed him, so he couldn't run. They're rolling thundering 10s, but they don't realize
Ninja
he's been
defuse
pushed around the side. Shaz, oh, he's sticking to the fuse. Got half already. Flash around the corner. Has to play anti for it, but as he swings the crosshair around, they capitalize. The nades. Oh,
no chance.
V1 utility. It's far too good.
Oh, wow. What was that round? That's one of the... These are back-to-back 2 of the most fun rounds you'll ever see.
What was that round?
I mean, that round was amazing. They all just flooded into Dapper, and I mean, considering how many picks Dapper gets to begin that round in Garage...
It's got his ult again, by the way.
It's quite amazing the version 1 win it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dapper with his ult again. We'll see whether it just gets broken by an aftershock. He really has to be cautious about that. And Shaz will have his ult online if he plays for the ult orb. This is one of those rounds, actually, Bren, where I would expect version 1 to be running a play to punish Shaz taking the orb. So if you hide early round from his recon dart, Shaz might... Yeah, they're just going for it, actually. They're just going to deny it by putting presence in A long. But Shaz does have that tendency to really often try and pick up the ult orb if the recon dart sees nothing in A lobby.
Look at this play that they're trying to set up a trap. Sentinels have a Paranoia setup, but none of the players of V1 are there. In fact, just spamming through, Dapper now realizes that the push is coming through.
And a swarm used early. Wow, I mean, that is such an early lockdown. There's still 1:10 on the clock. And this is the power of the speed, the tempo that version 1 play at. They're going to force abilities out of you, ultimates out of you, before you even get to the mid-round.
Dapper now, by the way, jiggle peeking for info. Thinks they could have just rotated V1.
It looks like they've rotated.
Exactly. Completely cutting information. Around the corner. Now the exec comes through. They've tagged him up.
How fast they explode out.
It's so fast. And Penny's rewarded with 1. Luckily, Dapper's there to trade it out. The 4v4.
4v4, but Xander's on the lurk.
Shaz has his ult. Hunter's Fury now to deny the plant. Push them away. The swing comes through. Dapper is there. That smoke timing, it dissipates.
Here's the lurk.
Xander's lurk. Patience. Oh, the discipline. He heard the other player running. Just needs to try and survive, but the swing from Zom's Whippy is there as well. Oh, it's very improv-y, but listen.
But they're all supporting each other really nicely. Now Dapper's in a 1v2
swings.
clutch. Dapper is nasty in the clutch, but
what it
Zelsis
comes
is
down
on
to,
a
man.
real off angle. And he's just a bit further away from the corner. Gets the spot Dapper before Dapper can see him. And that's 4-4. Very, very flip-floppy half so far. Sentinels dominating the first 4 rounds by winning pistol and bonus. And then version 1 have actually just won 4 rifle rounds in a row. So Sentinels benefiting more from the economy snowball to get themselves into this position. But at this point in the half, it feels like version 1 are playing the better game.
Yeah, pushing and pulling, either rotations or ultimates out of them that we were talking about earlier. Dapper used this lockdown, like, I think at the minute mark, if not before that.
This might be a play to get Zelsis the orb.
Running straight through. There's a
Apparently
knife. Want to ignore it. Okay. Spotted something clearly. Dapper close to the corner. He was suppressed, but they were just holding the corner anyway. Zoms is in the back of the site with the TP. That's a beautiful flash. Both players ruined right now. They're not allowed to play the game.
The double flash comp, living up to its name there.
Yeah.
The desk were talking about how good it is when you combo the breach and the sky together. There's the KO into the breach utility.
That's
all right, Tens gets the kill, just based off the drone. Jazz is left in a 1v2.
That's in a 1v2.
And
too much
V1 double face. It's so good. The discipline is fantastic from version 1 in the post plants.
The fundamentals. We always bring up as well, like whenever you're doing the death segments on V1, you always bring up the cast stats.
Sure.
The cast numbers, because these guys are just sailing.
The other side of things, they're a monstrous team, and more people need to be paying attention. And Sentinels have got their hands full dealing with them right now.
And I wonder what adjustments they're going to make off the back of that timeout. Obviously, it was Sentinels that ended up calling it. I feel like Dapper is being exploited pretty heavily over towards that seaside, but it's a fast take now of the lobby area. And Tens, he just wants to try and take an angle. Didn't anticipate that Xander could have been there. Possibly goes for a pick. Obviously, they're on the bad guns. See if they can make it happen, but no time wasted. V1 straight into the side. Penny dashes into front to try and cut a bit of it. He's hugging the wall there to try and play anti-flash for Zelsis, who was throwing it into the side deeper.
And again, this is going to be another post plant, of course. And 2v4, where Dapper and Zoms essentially have no chance of doing anything. I mean, you could try and play post plants, you could try and take guns away from them, but the version 1 economy is fantastic.
Oh, good as well. V1 are just kind of, I don't know, throwing a wrench into the plans, I guess. You know, you take the timeout because they've just essentially either suppressed Dapper or spotted him out multiple times on C.
Yeah.
They're going for these late C hits, and they're always taking him out to make sure he can't get value out of that themselves. And so, I don't know, you go into this round and you expect something different, and V1 just fast hit A.
Yeah. I think, though, that the timeout will be mostly for this round, round 11, when they actually have rifles.
When they have the guns and the economy.
So this is the round where you're expecting to see the pivot, you know, maybe Dapper moving over to A or setting up his Killjoy utility for information in Garage and B, that kind of scenario.
Yeah.
So it looks like that might be what they're going for here. They've got Alarm Bot to cover the close B, Turret watching Garage, and they're going to move Zoms so that he can anchor the C site. So it's Doms, Dapper and Zoms, the duo, locking down C here. And actually, they pull the alarm bot back and just run it at front C. They're not worried about B.
How many times have V1 dumped the utility into A long here?
Right, but a crucial element is sometimes it's a bluff.
No way.
Oh, wow, Dapper.
Oh, no!
That's brutal.
We didn't see it.
No.
Everyone had their monitors off.
And they're going B to C, actually.
This is, I mean, walking straight into Zoms, who was just already anchoring it down. Zoms with another one, a third. Why not? Capitalize off the mistakes. Paranoia, as you can't see too much, but Tens just holding that angle. Xander now 53 health, hits 2 headies. Why not? That's going to be Zelsis falling, though. No one able to res him. It's a 1v2. And the spike is down at the feet of Sentinels. Zoms brought this round back off the brink of defeat, is what it looked like.
Yeah, he makes up there for Dapper's whiff in grass. Maybe a bit of, you know, I don't know. Dapper's actually been doing reasonably well in the kill department because they've been going into him so often, even though he's been losing the sight a bit. But Zoms does a great job there. He repositions. It's an unusual pathing from version 1 to go all the way through B to C.
Yeah, a bit of an overheat moment, potentially.
Maybe, but Zoms reads it brilliantly.
Yeah.
Tens has yet to come online in either of these maps so far, but 5 rounds is good from Sentinels on their defense.
You want to play? Let's play.
Same kind of setup here, with Dapper and Zoms anchoring C pretty hard.
Okay, so deep. Oh my word. For sure, Sick was going to try and swing into that one, but they give it up, and it is, again, a fast pivot into the C hit. Zoms just takes a fight straight up. Not sure what that play was off of. Now the rolling thunder, it misses Dapper. He's holding this corner now. He needs to get a couple of picks off of it. Again, the discipline. He holds it down and sprays them down. 3 kills for him. Quick little rip around the back of the site. That's sick to clean it and ended up the 6-6 half. Felt like V1 almost outplaying themselves towards the end of that half.
But amazing play from Dapper, recovering, and 16 and finish at the top of their group with a win today. Or if they lose, they can finish as low as 3rd because they don't have that tiebreaker head-to-head against Optic. You know, if Optic end up beating Knights, they would drop all the way down to 3rd and have to play the guard. So, the guard, Exet, these are opponents that Sentinels would like to dodge. The LG game seems a bit easier. We're going to look at Whippy and Xander here, set up for something aggressive potentially. They don't have any utility giving them timing. Throwing down a smoke as Xander kind of fakes some presence over towards C, but it is kind of a full retake setup here with just the trademark giving them any information.
Yep. Deep flash. Sentinels get the site free. Deep drone from Shaz as well. Look at him just trying to clear through Garage. It's a double swing with the paranoia. They are not wasting any time. Tens just sat there, man. Like he's trying to hatch an egg. Right in front of them. Couldn't see a thing. And V1 with the retake. That's far too clean. I mean, that's just sparkling clean, Josh. It's looking like your head.
Is the round over already? Wow,
I mean,
what happened there?
Mate, that's...
I mean, they just went in immediately. What a fast retake setup.
Yeah.
All of that utility was gorgeous. They had the flashes coming out. The Aftershock started to push people out from logs and on top of the default box. That's what that Aftershock is doing from Effie's.
Making sure nobody can post up there.
Exactly. And then they flash. They catch Tens, who's pushed forward from that log spot into a more advanced angle. And they just rinse them before Sentinels can get into their post-plant positions. Version 1, they win 50% of their retakes as well. So they're no pushovers on defense. They're just an all-round great team that not enough people are talking about right now.
So many tools at their disposal with this composition they're playing. And Sentinels, I mean, they'd love one of those miracle rounds. We were talking about it earlier, you know, Tens hasn't been having a good series. He's normally the player who can pull out the 4K, the ace, whatever it takes to try and wrangle around back into your hands. You can't let momentum slip away here, not when it's map point to V1. Just holding, waiting. Trying to go with a flash, but no, it's just a dry swing from Tens as he looks for something, but wasn't really any setup there. Xander now lays down a smoke just so he can play inside of it. The exec starts to come through from Sentinels, but it's disjointed, it's slow. They're really struggling to get a foothold in, and with a quick pop flash. Okay, Xander. Don't talk about that too much. Still gets the 2, and his team is there to clean up in the end.
I've had moments like that, you know, you're shooting at somebody, you think you've killed them, and you flick away already.
We've all been there.
But honestly, the flash is amazing there. That's, I believe, Azel's flash, although I suppose it could be Effie's there too. But all 3 of the players he was shooting at are full blinded coming into the site. As they focus on killing Whippy at logs, they get properly blinded. We'll be able to see in this replay, actually. It is a breach flash coming out from Effie's, just through the default box. He's in the kill feed as the assist as well.
Yeah.
Catches all 3 of those players. And now version 1 have got a really good bonus round. Double Spectre, a Bulldog, Marshall. These are all great tools to have.
A lot of it going.
And here we see the new Sentinels A take, which features this deep smoke in A long from Zombs. And they punish Zelsis, who's trying to walk through it. Disrespected early.
Yeah, just trying to contact through. I imagine their utility that they threw out didn't quite tag onto anybody, so maybe assumed that he could catch that timing. Still, Sentinels need to be careful of this one. If they want to try and end on A, V1 are taking a gamble. Why not? You have the worst guns. If you think they're going to try and end there, you can try and meet them player for player.
I'm not sure if the idea in short here is that Effie's flashes off Penny's contact or whether they just run at it. He's got his rifle out right now, so I don't think it's too much of like a trap setup where the flash gets baited. They're just trying to gamble stack.
Right through long. Sentinel's already into the back of the site. It's a nice dart just to set that one up. Still, no one has dealt with Whippy. Full swing comes through in the end, but Whippy left alive. He's still there, by the way, Zoms. He didn't TP away. Can't really stick the bat in that scenario. Still, it's a round on the board for Sen. Zoms Nation in uproar on that one.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. They still
got
get
the round. They got the round.
They get the round. They actually didn't take too much economical damage as well. Sick and Zoms should still be able to buy here with like light armor. Zoms takes a Spectre because he's selfless like that. It's
Yeah.
one of the best things about Zoms, I think.
Got a great smile, too.
No real ults to be able to work with. Zom's the closest, but it's not an ult to build your game plan around. And it's just going to be a pretty neutral engagement. Knife early for info in A lobby as this drone comes up C long.
Just trying to confuse up the movement here, but it looks like it's going to be the exact anyway. Dashing straight into the smoke whip. He was holding the edge of it, and Tense is brought down momentarily. His attempt from Sentinels to try and get something done has been met with brutal answer. Smoke dissipates. What is that? Snap heavies. Quick little reset of the aim, and even the util to force a favorable engagement there. Only so much Shout can do.
One of the crucial differences for these teams on attack, Sentinels are using all of their utility kind of staggered. Like the Recon Dart comes out, then the Paranoia is kind of 2 seconds later, and then the dash into the site is just after that.
It's not quite as
It's not as tight.
Yeah.
It's not as tight. And that gives version 1 better timings to use their own defensive utility. You don't get overwhelmed. As the site anchor, you don't have to worry about multiple things at once. It's just one of the different pieces that you can see by watching how Sentinels play to give you an indication that they're not quite as disciplined as some of these other teams in North America.
And now we're seeing, I mean, that scoreline can easily turn in a different direction. Trademark spotted. Effie's though. Okay, quick little flash. That makes them think twice about a quick little B hit. Maybe trying to get the plan and play the post plan straight down mid.
If Xander gets caught in this position, it's brutal for version 1.
I haven't killed the trip. Oh, okay. I mean, he's lucky he gets away with that, honestly. If there were more players there, he'd be losing his gun. Plus, he's got Whippy to hold it. Quarter force in hand, and Sick is left running around like an AI. I mean, Whippy is just cleaning him up. Of course, nowhere to run when the slows are down like that. As soon as you get that first pick,
It's like a path of magma.
you just can't run out. I mean, I'm poking fun at Sick here, but you are really slow to a crawl. The only thing you could do is look at it. He whips out a knife and just tries to get the heck out of there.
Yeah, there's no chance. And that's Whippy contributing massively to the Prime game in Flawless. That gun is so difficult to contend with in a tight choke point like that. But it's all right. That was a Sentinels eco round. Now they've got ultimates to be able to work with. They could go for some big burst off the back of 6. KO ult. Try and find a pick with Shaz's if they're able to get that online.
The counter knife as well. I mean, V1 are doing such a good job of controlling the A lobby so early. And slowed that push all the way down. And they know that their players, there could be players pushed up here. Any? Oh, he's got the op, but misses the shot. He can't dash. Has to commit to this angle. Surely they clear him here. Tense just runs straight in. The firing squad right around the corner. What is that? Collateral from Penny. Still ends up going down. A 1v2 though. Zelsis makes his way to the side eventually. He's like, guys, where are you?
One little thing there as well. Sick was holding his KO ult, or rather Zelsis was holding his KO ult, waiting for the voice line from Sick. When Sick popped it, so did Zelsis. And that's the only reason that version 1 were able to hold on at all. Now he's got double flash and the knife available. He doesn't really want to give away where his positioning is, though.
He's fast pushing this.
That is a very well-timed Nano Swarm from Dapper.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Extremely aware.
Oh, I mean, Zelsis 1v1. Surely you can't give him it, and Sick. Whoo! 5 HP to his name. With a round on the board for Sen. They're just clawing it back.
Not even close.
Not even close. I wasn't worried.
I mean, the crosshair placement was fantastic from Zelsis, but
I can't believe that.
Sick is just a little better. It feels like Sick definitely has woken up a lot more after the map 1. He's been certainly contributing in a lot of these rounds. 14 and 13 right now. Having a much bigger impact when it comes to the fragging. Tends yet to get online 8 and 14. Really not seeing anything from this guy.
Get out of my way.
Unusual, really. Don't expect it too often. You can see again that utility.
Zoms has
And
stuck
everything,
this.
but Zoms has stuck it, and that means they have to hard clear him. Oh my god, the utility! Zoms, you're in trouble, son. You gotta run out of there, but he's being swamped. Holy. Is it enough for Sentinels to try and run back in off the
Hens gets traded, and Sentinels slow it down. They're now going to wait for the lockdown. And all that does is it gives V1 the opportunity to rotate. I mean, Effys doesn't have his Aftershock because they used it to clear Zombs out of heaven. So the lockdown does go off, but this is going to be a 3v3 retake. And Effys still has the breach ult.
You're kidding me. Doesn't disrupt the plans, but now they need to make sure that they can clear all these players. Hell.
Great KO molly.
Like online. They want to try and contest this one. Sick just swings out of the default area. Eventually going to be traded, but let's get that one pick, and now 2v2. Dapper holding around the corner. Has to try and force a favorable fight. Comes through with a swing. Just about gets the one now. It's the 1v1. Shazam, he has the Hunter's Fury, but decides to just contact around the corner anyway. Locks it up for him. These rounds are so close for Sentinels, man.
That's 2 rounds in a row that have come down to a 1v1, and Sentinels have won them both. Sick and Shazam keeping his team in it.
Little timeout here for V1.
V1 going to take a timeout. Honestly, I'm not sure there's that much strategically to discuss apart from a lobby control in the early round. Frankly, the rest of these rounds, like the mid-round, the retakes, they've all actually been pretty good from version 1. It's just that Sentinels are winning it out at the very end.
Clutching it.
Clutching it, absolutely.
Just see on the minimap when it might be pinging, but that's the bit of it. It looks like they're still going to be going for the classic util dump that they've been doing over and over and over again towards the A lobby, but this time might get a bit more aggressive.
One difference here might be Zelsis putting his fragment grenade in there. What Sentinel's game plan is. And he's gonna...
Oh, straight down mid. Sentinels, okay, why not? Yeah, this is very pacey. Try and get that land. We're gonna be pushed away from it. How to get out. Tens ends up opting to use that dash. He's not gonna have it now for this post plan, but Sentinels just try and spam them down. It's all gonna come down to these critical timings, trying to watch that somebody doesn't lurk their way through Garage. The nice nano swarm to push them away for but a moment. Now Penny with the knives. Paranoia gets them away. Hunter's Fury on top of it. Sentinels, they've got plenty to try and dissuade the defuse from being stuck.
They still have another shock dart to be able to use.
Time.
And this fragment grenade. I don't think there's any chance here.
I don't think it's been body blocked either. Yep, sick. He gets that pick up to Effys, and time is running low. The classic Sentinels round. They win it out. 4 players surviving. They keep the guns. Works out nicely for them.
It is vintage Sentinels, that round.
Old school.
It really is. They've been doing that same kind of round since middle of 2020 when Zoms was last playing Omen. Obviously not with, I mean, that would be back with Sick playing Phoenix and Dapper on the Cypher, but they now have the Fragment Grenade and the Nanoswarms to throw in there as well. A lot of other teams, they love to go for a flank through Garage or through A short on a round like that. Sentinels will play all 5 players spamming the spike, stopping you from getting a defuse. And here comes an eco round for version 1 where they have their breach in Garage. Early Paranoia, but only Zels is really pushing up on it, and he didn't want to go any further. Maybe that's because Effys got suppressed, so he wasn't able to throw out extra breach utility on top.
Just to salvage it if it went wrong, or... yeah. I can see that being the case. Thrown here by Sentinels. Shaz wants to make sure that mid is cleared out because did lose control of that. But now not going to have that tool. Oh, look at it. They have to use flashes to even just clear window.
Yeah, that's wild. Version 1 have a lot of areas on the map where they could be right now. They could be pushed up all the way towards close A lobby, in Garage, down C. Sentinels don't have very much information, but they have pretty significantly better guns. And they are guessing correctly here. They're going towards the site where only Xander is, and he already used his Paranoia at the beginning.
All right, gamble works out. We'll see if Xander can push things up here. Sheriff in hand, shock dart inside the smoke. They know it's likely he's playing inside of this one. It's a classic play for the players that might be anchoring. Man, not down yet! Oh my goodness, Tens, where are you looking? Walks straight into Xander and hands him the pick.
No big ultimates. Looking at Zelsis here. Oh, that is a tag. Does a lot of damage to Dapper. The Marshal is such a dangerous weapon. And all 4 of the Sentinels players are doing the same thing where they play off-site. No flanks, just looking to spam the spike.
Good shot. Gonna force a couple of swings there, but nice fault line on top of it. That is amazing utility from Effys. Push them out into the line of sight angles for them to try and take this one. Wants to try and secure it. That was left down to a 1v1, by the way, against the weird buy of V1.
Another 1v1 round. Where things got sticky for Sentinels there. You're right, the utility usage was fantastic. But Dapper is clawing at these rounds.
17.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? 1 kill per round from your Sentinel player. And Bren, every single match that Sentinels have played this year has been a 2-1 or a 1-2. But either way, it's gone to 3 maps. So it feels written in the stars here that Sentinels are going to be able to close this out. I said both teams are very good at Haven. It's not a gimme for either side. But Sentinels are really clawing this one into their control. They are fighting tooth and nail for every advantage they can find. And closing out with some excellent individual skill.
He's in trouble. A little suppressed. Now we see the KO. That's a pop flash into the Rolling Thunder. That's a V1 aggressive play. Committing the ultimates. 2 players down as 10 from Dapper fall. Just swinging into the nade just to see if they can get anything done. He's delivered the spike directly to them. Any hopes of a quick little pivot or wraparound, maybe to try and make another play happen? That is shut down straight away, and Shaz in a 1v5.
Ren, how do you predict that play? The Rolling Thunder being used aggressively into short as you're trying to push. That's such a great idea from version 1, and it
not even
crippled
about
Sentinel's attack.
Not even about predicting it. They've been running that exact same setup almost every single round on defense side. The players didn't really change up their positioning. They just decided to make an aggressive play at pushing them out of short.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had Whippy playing in short as well that was swinging off of it, but...
I think... Did Whippy not get tagged by the knife, though, as well? So he's like...
For a moment, and I think he was KO ulted as well.
Right.
Straight afterwards, I believe. Yeah, so Zelsa still has his, so it was the Sentinel KO ult.
God, the timing of all of that was just mad.
Yeah, Shaz just no option but to save the gun now, look towards the future.
If Sentinels had managed to win this round, version 1 would have been on an eco, and it's essentially the map win. So V1, that round could not have come at a better time. What a play to shut down Sentinels. And Shaz has all the time in the world to talk to his team about the adjustments they need to make to put this one into their favor.
Yeah.
Here's the replay.
Look at that.
Flash.
Rolling Thunder.
Oh, Hens dashes into his smoke, but just gets collected by the spam from Zelsis. Yeah, what a play. It's a perfect timing as well. It couldn't have found more people from Sentinels. It was exactly as they were about to exec.
It's nasty. Actually nasty. Well, for Sentinels, they need this map, obviously, to take it to map 3. As much as it doesn't seem like there's large stakes on the line, it's an important match for both these teams in terms of deciding who's that #1 seed.
Yep. The winner plays LG in the first round. I mean, that is...
That's the matchup you want.
No offense to LG, but that is the matchup you want. They are clearly the weakest of those 4 teams that are coming out of Group A.
Zombs with a Spectre in his hand, just holding, waiting. Sentinels with minute 15, going to use that drone to take Barrage, pushing Tens into position.
Zelsis still has the fragment grenade, going to dodge the drone contact. They know where Xander is. Paranoia misses as well.
Any swing from the back. It's a knife. Tens is actually stuck into this corner. Pop flash as well. I mean, Tens. Opportunities to play the game. Stunned up now as well. Oh boy.
They have garage control. 45 seconds. Version 1 have ticked a lot of time off the clock. This is an amazing position for them to play. Great off angle, and he can just rendezvous away. That's a good position to be playing as a Jet, and an amazing position to be playing as the Chamber. Because look at this off angle again.
You're not going to expect this.
He goes from one crazy position to another.
You're really just not going to expect this. And as well, look at that. The dart comes in. It doesn't connect onto him. Suppressed anyway. Wow. I mean,
gets
Tens
2.
Did clear that, but before taking out Dapper.
He gets 2 just from playing off angles. Just absolutely maximizing his potential there with Chamber.
You're going to need to see something huge here from Sentinels, because it could be the map. Obviously, scoreline not there just yet, but the economy is going to be in shambles if Sentinels end up losing this one.
Look how coordinated all of the utility is, all being used at once.
Oh, Penny's already in. Straight into the smoke. Runs around the corner, and Sentinels, before you can even blink, everyone wiped off the map.
That's what I'm talking about. Version 1. Their coordination, the timing on all of their utility, it all comes at the same time. And for Sentinels, what does that mean? It's very difficult to navigate because you've got flashes, recon, stuns, all aftershocks, all coming at you at the same time. And then on top of that, it becomes even harder to find the right timing for you to use your utility. By the time you hear the first flash or see the first recon dart, If you throw out your utility, then Penny's already on you. It's that level of just dialing up the tempo to 11 that version 1 has done so incredibly well in this series.
Synchronization.
And they are now on match point. This would be them clean sweeping Group B.
Quite insane if they managed to do it. And off the back of that pick,
That
it
is
looks
nasty.
all the more likely. Disrespecting it, just pushing straight into the smoke.
Version 1 win 84% of the time when they're up 5v4. Sentinels are going to have to pull out something incredible to get back in this
You need a TENS moment. You need a TENS moment, but look at this. Slowed up at the front of the site, the Aftershock TENS. Is he going to have to stick this plant? Dash available. Goes to safety. Lockdown, close up. It's going to mean that V1 are just working themselves around and waiting for it to fade away, and now they're going to look to try and re-push into this one, but Dapper, he tries to get the timing. Not enough. Dash into the back of the site. TENS, it's all on him, but he's so unaware, man. Nobody is holding that back of the site for him. Penny, unleashed, ripping through them. And V1, they take the series away from Sentinels. The first time in the history between both these teams, they've ended up winning against Sentinels. And honestly, it feels like